Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to discuss ethical use of the internet and mainly plagiarism. You've been learning in class about how to cite sources and to give credit where credit is due, and always giving information where you found your ideas on the internet. To begin, we're going to start with 21cif.com. We're going to go down to Full Circle Kits. We're going to click on Action Zone Games. And within Action Zone, there are several levels of games to help you test your internet knowledge. But today we're going to skip Search 1, Search 2, Search 3, and we're going to go on to Evaluation because we're going to evaluate our knowledge on plagiarism. We're going to scroll down to the bottom. We're going to click on Plagiarism 1. And here we're going to see that it opens up a new window, a new tab. Our tab, we can review the micro module for necessary background information. If you have totally forgot what plagiarism is, we're going to click in this and it will give you the definition of plagiarism. According to Merriam-Webster, it's stealing and passing off someone else's words as your own, to use another's work without citing that you got it from them, or to just totally steal their work and not give them any credit. We're going to click out of that and go back to our game. We're going to click on the first level. The first level of this game has 9 points. Once we get through that, you can go to the second level, which has 12 points, and the third level, which is 15 points. All the games are set up the same way. They will have plagiarism. They will say, are any of these students guilty of plagiarism, down here on our bottom. And then you're going to read the original source, which if we scroll over the question, it will show our original text here. However, if that is not enough information for you to decide whether our students have plagiarized, you can click on the question and it will open up a new tab with that website. Today I feel, however, that I do not need this, so I'm going to click out of that. I'm going to go down, I'm going to read my original text, and I'm going to give you a minute or two to read the original text and to go down and to read through the student answers, and then to decide whether that student has plagiarized or not plagiarized. So let's take a minute for you to read through them, and then we'll come back together and decide whether they are plagiarized or not. Okay, we're back. You should have had enough time to read through the original text, maybe even to read through the original website and see whether the work of the student has been plagiarized or not. This first student work, I think, is pretty much word for word from the original text. So I'm going to say that that is plagiarized, and then I'm going to check my answer. And it gives me the answer, yes, this passage was taken word for word from the original text. So great, we got 3 points. On our next one, the student does change the wording just a little bit from up here. So that's called paraphrasing, when they're going to take someone else's work and change the wording, but they do not cite their source. So I'm going to say that that is as well plagiarized. I'm going to check my answer. Yes, this passage has been closely paraphrased from the original, and the source is not cited. So we're a good job. We got 6 points total. And on the last one, we read through there. They do change some of the wording. They do use a lot of the original text, but they do cite their source. So I'm going to say that this is not plagiarized, and I'm going to check my answer. Yes, this passage includes a citation for the original information. Once we finish this game, we can move on to the next level. On the next level, they're gonna raise the points just a little bit. They're also gonna make it a little bit trickier. However, the game is set up the same. They have the question. You can click on the question to get the original source, but you can use the original text up here as well. You're going to click plagiarized or not plagiarized, just like the other game. When you're done with this, you're gonna move on to the last game, where it does get a little bit trickier. They're going to have quotation marks, but you need to make sure that when you use quotation marks that they are word from your original text. If the source, or if the student's work does not have the original text within the quotation marks, that is plagiarism, and that would be plagiarized instead of not plagiarized. It does not matter if they give the source, they need to have it word for word within the quotation marks. So make sure you look for that when you're reading through this set of student examples. when you have completed that, you can always go on back to 21st Century Action Zone, and you can complete Plagiarism 2 and Plagiarism 3. They do get trickier, novice through expert, so you can keep going until you just can't go anymore. Thank you for your participation and enjoy your games. Have a good day.